Hi, welcome back to Friday Sews. I'm Alison, this is Sew Like Dotty, and today is a very special one for me because it's a collaboration with Vanessa from Sew Lulu Rask. Do go and check out her channel. I'll put a link in the description box, and she's also on Instagram. And Vanessa reached out a little while ago on Instagram, said she'd lost a sojo, and did anybody feel like collaborating? And I love that she did that, and also to see the response that she got. So she has done several collaborations, and I just think that's fabulous. She's back in the stride. She's got a sojo back. She's been on Sew Virtual, so I've kind of seen her on there because we live in, different parts of the UK. So don't you just love the sewing community? It brings people together from all over the world. I just think that's absolutely fabulous. So I said I'd love to do a collaboration. However, I'd already chosen my plans for February, so I was a bit kind of, do you want to, these are what I'm making, let me know if you're up for making one of those. So she said yes, and we decided on, well, I was already going to make the Friday Pattern Company Davenport dress, which is this one just here. I'll show you this on the back. So this dress, I always make it longer than on the picture. I'm not a knee length kind of girl. But size-wise, where does it go up to? It goes from a bust of 32 inches up to a bust of 59 to 60 inches. So Chelsea at Friday Pattern Company, I think her patterns are always extremely size inclusive. I love everything about her vibe. I always have done. This is one of my OG patterns, which is why I've put the title out there today on my slide. I think it was maybe the third thing. I think I did the Lotta dress first from Tilly and the Buttons, then maybe this or the Indigo. I can't remember now, it's a little while ago. I don't like the flutter sleeve. I'm broad enough on the shoulder, so I don't put the flutter on, and I just extend this part here, so the ruffle is like down here instead. Won't be a big shock to know I don't put pockets in, so I do two back panel pieces instead of two fronts, a front and a back, sorry. Very easy. I have made maybe 5 or 6 of those. If I can find any of them, I'll pop some pictures in, but I've not made one for maybe 2 years or more, I think. Not sure why, but I'd got an urge to make it again. I'd had it reprinted because I knew I was going to be a different size, and then all of a sudden, ping, 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 started coming through emails last weekend from Friday Pattern Company with Projector files in. I mean, my excitement, like, yeah, I was literally about to sell my Projector just because in this area here, I've got kind of the extra machines that I'm going to have for a little while, swapping and changing from Baby Lock. And when I had my Projector, you can possibly see it, it's behind there. I also had like a Mac screen in the corner and a keyboard and things, and I felt like it like drained the energy of the room. Now that might sound really random to you, but it was just a black screen. We don't have a TV in the bedroom anymore. I felt the same about that. And I put up my nice shelf, and I felt like my vibe was good, and I thought, as much as I don't want to sell my Projector because I really have loved learning about Projector sewing, I don't know if I'm going to have space to use it. So ping, 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 the emails came through, and it was like it was a divine message that was just meant for me to say, don't sell it and keep going. And I said to Carl, I can set it up with my laptop, which kind of lives in here anyway for Sew Virtual, and I can put that in the corner. And, I said, if I decide in 6 months' time I want to sell it, I can. Yeah, so I didn't even cut out the paper. I'd had it printed, the paper pattern, but I didn't even do that. I just cut it out. So I think I must have made the large before, and I cut it out in the extra large. So I've got it here to show you, and I will put it on. So it's got I love the construction of the Davenport dress. It was kind of definitely new things that I learned. There's no zip closures, there's no buttons or anything in it. You start with this front piece here, and there's a little yoke that goes across here, and then you put elastic through here. Now, I've never done this before, but I always watch the sew-alongs on YouTube for all of the Friday Pattern Company makes. I just go back to them. It's like sewing with a friend, but you kind of like watch that step, watch that step. Now, one of the things that Chelsea does on that is put bias binding on here, so it's the first time I've done that. Now this is a shop bought like satin bias binding, and I feel like it's a bit too stiff, but I was chatting to, I could have made some bias binding out of this fabric really. I was chatting to Emma from Crafty Clyde on Sew Virtual yesterday, and she said she has some like soft cotton that she gets off Etsy or eBay, so she's sending me the link for that, so I might stock some of that in stock. I'm not a shop, but you know what I mean, put it in my stash. So yeah, you create this piece first. I don't know what it was, like I was in a good place when I was making this, but I couldn't get this to lie right. I do think it's because this was quite stiff and I've sort of snipped some of it off in the corner. The channel says stitch at 0.6, but my elastic was wider than that. But I did the channel too narrow. So at one point I was like, oh, I'll just leave it, it'll look all right. And then I was like, no, restitch it, do it again, let's get it right. I didn't want to feel like I rushed it. I'm hanging onto a thread I've just found as I did that there. And then you've got these yoke pieces here. So you cut 4 of these yoke pieces at the front, and they kind of wrap around that piece at the front, so it gives it this nice clean line. Hopefully you can see this, sorry, I know I'm moving around here. A clean line, and then you do the same with the back yoke. The back yoke is here, and then it's the back piece is gathered into that. So all the gathering I did on my Baby Lock overlocker, the top of the sleeves here, the ruffle, all of it's finished on there. But you can see it is a double yoke, so you do use the burrito method. So whenever I'm doing anything with the burrito method, I go back to this video on Friday Pattern Company, because it's really straightforward for how to do it. So that was done in no time at all. I did think about putting a label in, but I decided against it. But if you are going to put a label in, put it in before you attach the yokes and do the burrito method. You need it in then. Otherwise you would be stitching it to the back. The sleeves are finished with elastic, but I wanted to do something a little bit different. So the fabric has a border print like this here. So I wanted to use something out of the border on the sleeves just to kind of catch that in. So what I did was I gathered the bottom of the sleeve. I did it on a differential of 2 and a stitch length of 4 on my overlocker, and I kept trying it in. So first of all I did it on 1.6, didn't bring it in enough, then 1.8, then 2, and that brought it into like a cuff length. And you can see I just put a little bit of light interfacing on this, a bit of the border print, just to finish it off. Now I really like that sort of bracelet sleeve. I did shorten the sleeve slightly because I don't like them too long, and I hope you'll agree, I think that's quite a nice finish on there. So yeah, then it's finished with the drawstring. So you make your skirt, and then you have it's like an outer casing which you attach to the, you press it over and attach it to the skirt, and then you stitch it onto the skirt to create the channel, then attach the top to the skirt. So it's really easy to do. And then the drawstring is in the self fabric, but I have used like the cotton cord and stuff like that on it before. I've got a whole variety of these. I have made it in viscose. Viscose is probably my favourite, viscose satin. My friend's made one in a cotton lawn, which I think looks lovely. She's less keen on it, but I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. That's my friend Lynn. And this I got at the Knitting and Stitching show, and I thought it was a viscose satin, but it's actually a cotton sateen. Now you might detect a slight change of tone in my voice, because it was one of my OGs and I really loved this pattern. I was really excited to be making this again, but I'm not so excited about it. There's 2 things. Now I am going to put it on, so I'll put it on now and then I'll come back. So here we go. Here is the dress. I really like this part of it here. I like the sleeves. I think I love the finish on them. I went up a size. I did go off my measurements, but I think I could have probably gone up another size. I think that might have helped the fit. Now, what you can't really see on here, you can see the drawstring there. Sorry, I'm just kind of hiking myself up in front of the camera. You'll see it on the pictures that I put in. I feel like when I'm sitting down in it, it's too tight. There are two things. There's nothing wrong with the pattern at all. I think maybe three things. I think I should have gone up another size in it. I think then it would have had a more generous fit, and then it would have been able to pull in more at the waist. That's quite important because I feel like a rectangle in it. So my waist has always been the point that comes in on me. But it's less so. Vanessa and I were talking about this. It's like I need to go and hunt for my waist these days. Now, I've put on weight, so that's, you know, my problem, nobody else's. But a lot of the time I wear quite floaty dresses and I actually feel more flattered in them. So I feel like the Aspen dress, the Fleur dress, the Judy dress, although they're quite, you know, slightly oversized dresses, I feel better in them. I want to wear things that make me feel good. I don't feel good in this. And I'm absolutely gutted, but I don't. So you'll probably be able to see in the pictures when I put those in what I mean. I love that I did the ruffle with the border print on. Everything about it when it's on the hanger I like, but on me I don't like. And partly I don't like the fabric. I love the print of it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I love the border, but it just feels not nylon-y, nothing like that. I can't wear it without a slip because I couldn't wear it with tights. It just sticks to my skin. I feel like that on the arms, even though the arms fit me and there's plenty of room. Like here, you know, there's a good 2 inches there, but I feel like they're tight on my arms, yet they're not. And I think a lot of that is the fabric. So I may revisit it again. The good thing is I didn't cut out the paper pattern, and the good thing is with the projector files, I can just choose to do the next size up the next time I do it. And I'll make all my notes about that in Stash Hub. So when I go back to the pattern, I can double check that information, because on a paper pattern, I would write things on. You can't do that with a projector file. Or I could write it in the old paper pattern booklet that I've got. So I'm not saying I won't make it again. I've sat on this for a few days and I'm thinking, like, what could I do with it? Do I leave it because I am, you know, eating healthy and losing some weight? I'm unsure yet. So it's going to go into the I'm not sure yet pile. I could potentially make it into a skirt, a little bit like the tiered gathered skirt. I've got enough fabric left that I think I could do that, but I don't want to jump in and do that straight away. But I do love the print. I just don't love the dress, and I'm so gutted. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Vanessa's, because I felt like I encouraged her to make it. She chose which dress, but it was one of the ones that I had lined up for this month, and I'm really hoping hers is better than mine. So I'm really looking forward to seeing yours, Vanessa, and hope yours is wearable, because right now I don't feel like this is on me. It's just, yeah, but I do think some of it is the fabric and my tummy. So we'll just leave it there. So I hope you've had a more productive sewing week. These are the risers. The Aspen dress had me up here last week. This has me about here, but it won't dull my sparkle, because it's just one of those things, isn't it? It's part of the process, and we learn things for next time. And I'm sure there will be a next time that me and the Davenport dress are reunited once again. So thank you for watching today, guys. If you've made this dress recently, let me know what you think. It's been a little while for me, but it might be a new pattern to you. I hope I'm not selling, like, I don't want to be not selling the pattern to you. I'm not trying to sell you anything, but it's nothing about the pattern. It's more about me and the fabric. So yeah, enjoy your week's makes. I will see you on Sunday with one of my specials, and let's catch up soon.